Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Olga. I love to crochet and I love sharing my crochet work here on my channel with my viewers. Today's project is very different from everything I've done before. This is a super thick, super warm, super cozy blanket. Here in Northern California, the evenings and nights are very chilly and I love snuggling under this blanket and doing some crocheting or having a cup of tea. The yarn that I used to make this blanket is Bernat Blanket Extra. This is a category 7 or jumbo yarn. It is super thick. The recommended hook size for this yarn is 15 millimeters. However, I do not have such a large size hook, so I'm going to use the largest one that I do have, which is 8 millimeters. To make this blanket, I used 4 balls of this yarn, and one ball is 97 yards, so that is 388 yards in total. Or in grams, one ball is 300 grams, so in total that would be 1200 grams of yarn. My blanket came out 48 inches long and 38 inches wide. I must say that working with such thick yarn and a large size hook is not easy, but the good thing is because the stitches are so huge, my blanket worked up pretty quickly. Please let me know in the comments below if you ever worked with such thick yarn and what kind of projects and what kind of stitches you used. And of course, for thick yarns, simple stitches are the best choice. So I worked my blanket with V-stitches and I love the way it turned out. So let me show you how I did it. I will be working with a hook size L, 8 millimeters. The starting chain must be multiple of 3 plus 2. For my actual blanket, I started with 53 chains, but for my sample, I will start with 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have 17 chains and I'm ready to start my first row. Into the first chain from the hook, I will make a V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here I make a double crochet, then 1 chain, and into the same chain I make 1 more double crochet, and this is my V-stitch. Next I skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next chain again I work a V-stitch. So a double crochet, 1 chain, and into that same chain 1 more double crochet. So now I have 2 V-stitches. Again, skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next one I work a V-stitch, a double crochet, 1 chain, and another double crochet. And that's how I crochet the first row of my blanket. Here I am at the end of the row. I just made the last V-stitch and I have 1 chain left, and into that chain I work a double crochet. So now I have 1 row of V-stitches. I turn my work and I start the next row with 3 chains, 2, 3. These 3 chains count as my first double crochet. And now I will work a V-stitch into each V-stitch. So my first V-stitch is right here. This is the chain 1 space. So over here, this is where I'm going to insert the hook. And I work a double crochet, 1 chain, and into that same chain one space I work one more double crochet. So here I have a V-stitch worked into the V-stitch, and that's how I crochet this row, working a V-stitch into each V-stitch. So a double crochet, one chain, and one more double crochet. Now again into the next one, into the chain one space, I work a double crochet, one chain, and a double crochet. So you can see a V-stitch worked into each V-stitch, and that's how I crochet this row. Here I am at the end of the row, and I finish it with a double crochet in top chain of the turning chain 3. So here I have 2 rows worked. I turn my work, and all I need to do now is to repeat row 2. I will start with 3 chains, then I will work a V-stitch into each V-stitch, and I will finish the row with a double crochet made into the top chain of the turning chain 3. Here I crochet 2 more rows of V-stitches, and I'm getting very thick, very warm and soft fabric. And that's how I crochet this blanket. At the end I will simply fasten off and hide the yarn tail.